Recording in progress.
नमस्सर्वेभ्यः कक्ष्यायां स्वागतं प्रार्थनया प्रारम्भं कुर्मः गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गतकक्ष्यायाम् अस्माभिः कथं संस्कृतवाङ्मये दीर्घवाक्यानाम् अपि च वाक्यद्वयस्य प्रसक्तिः भवति. How two sentences, or what we can call twinning sentences, occur in Samskritam, or even larger ones. There are techniques of combining. One is usually there will be some cause and effect relationship when we do such combinations. That's the only reason why we try to combine. So here the cause and effect, when we use yada tada as the keywords to combine two sentences, is when that happens, this happens as a consequence, more or less. So it sometimes can be a consequence, sometimes can be just two events that occurred due to kakataliya nyaya. I say incidentally they occurred together like that. Okay, but here it is a cause and effect sense. Yada Ramaha nagarat vasaya vanam gacchati tada ayodhyayam shokah vardate. So when Rama goes to the forest to live, that is when in the Ayodhya the peoples is implicit there, the sorrow increases. Okay, so yada tada. So there are two tingantas, two kriya padas, gacchati, vardhate. So there are two distinct circles linked through the yada tada combinant. Okay, similar to yada tada we have several others, yatra tatra, yaha saha, ya sa, yat tat, yena tena. We saw quite a few of those examples also. One more thing we saw was a cha type of thing. Okay, this happens and then this happens, like that. Okay, so in these places sometimes the borrowal of the karta, karma, etc. can happen even if the vibhakti changes, like Ramaha Sitam Vanam Nayati. Rama takes Sita to the forest, apicha, and also upasthapayati. Only that much is told, really. Establishes. So her is implicit, tam. Okay, and who establishes? Saha is implicit, Ramaha. Where tatra arthat vane is implicit. So saha tam tatra, or Sita Ramaha Sitam vane upasthapayati. We don't actually repeat this because that will not make the combination useful. The very reason why we brought apicha is to reduce the requirement of such things, right, for the compactness. So we don't actually, but they are implicit. If you wish, you can bring it in sarvanama sense. That is a little bit more sensible than again bringing Ramaha, Sitam, Vane, like that. Okay, all right. So Vana is a karma for ni dhatu, whereas it is a saptami karaka for stha dhatu. So if you bring Vana here, Vane upasthapayati. Okay. So of course we saw that in more colorful sense, but the focus is on the sentence. Then we saw quite a few possibilities. Okay, I'll open up all of them, we'll go through. So yataha, like due to, because, that sense. Okay, Ramaha vanam gacchati yataha kaikeyi tata karayitum ichati. Because Kaikeyi desired, so Rama went to the forest. Of course we say the because later. Yeah, Rama goes to the forest because Kaikeyi wishes it to be so. So you can even bring, like I told earlier also, yataha Kaikeyi bharataya rajyam ichchati ataha Ramaha vanam gacchati. Because Kaikeyi desires the kingdom for her son Bharata, so Rama lives for the forest. We do know there are two different requests, but they are kind of linked. If Rama is, in fact it will be relief for Rama also to be away if such an event occurs as the eldest son. You can't hang around there, so it's kind of probably a kindness from Kaikeyi also. One way to look at that curse. Dar yatha tatha. So yatha Kaikeyaha ichha bhavati tatha eva Ramaha karoti. As is Kaikeyi's desire, so does Rama do. So just as, so does this kind of pairing. Yatra tatra, yatra mahilaha pujyante tatra devaha ramante, yatra chatraha santi tatra guruvaryaha api bhavati, something like that. Okay, so wherever there are ladies who are respected, there the gods roam. So yaha saha, or you can use yasa, yat, tat type also, but one yaha saha has been taken here. So yah grame dhanikah asti saha eva grama sabham chalayati. Whoever is rich in the village, he only runs the meetings, like that. Yam tam, so this is dvitiya vibhakti pairing. See, that was pratama vibhakti pairing. Dvitiya vibhakti. Yam balikam sarve shrotum ichanti tam pracharya patam patitum ahvayati. That girl, very girl who everybody desires to hear, she is invited to read the lesson by the teacher, something like that, whichever that. Okay, then tritiya vibhakti example, yena tena, yena samyak gatum shakyate tena eva devastuti ganam giyate. By whomsoever it is possible to sing, by that very person the singing of the prayer is done, something like that. Okay, so yavat tavat. Yeah, so this is slightly different. Okay, yavat kartum shaknomi tavat karyam karomi. This is a avyaya pairing. However much, that much is the meaning of yavat and tavat. So they pair like that. So however much I can do, that much I will definitely do, like that. Means I won't leave anything short from my side. That sense. Yavat paryantam, tavat paryantam. Paryantam can be added to bring temporal or locational sense. Okay, here it's a little open, more like quantity. Here it's more like boundary sense of time boundary or space boundary. So okay, so that is the distinction. So these things we saw there. These are the just but a few. There were a few more definitely, but significantly sufficient for a lot of our needs. Like I told you, this yaha saha will go to all vibhaktis. We have seen it in yena tena. Yam tam, instead of yam tam I chose the strilinga yam tam. So you can go to other vibhaktis, yasya tasya, yasya pita dasharatah tasya nama ramaha. So it's a lame way of using that, but you got it. Okay, whosoever's father is Dasharatha, he is Rama, like that. His name is Rama, like that. Okay, in fact you don't need yasya tasya. Yasya pita dasharatah saha ramaha. You can pair that way also, as long as it makes sense for the second half. So whosoever's father is Dasharatha, he is Rama. You don't need to make yasya tasya pairing. Okay, what requires for the second part is the form that you want to take, but there is a link to that yasya in the second half. Okay, did I make sense with all this? Okay, so if you are having any doubt, please ask. Okay, next we saw an important non-karaka vibhakti, what we call akaraka vibhakti, which is shashti vibhakti. So there are 7 vibhaktis from pratama to saptami, pratama to panchami, and then saptami. All of these are called karaka vibhaktis because they link to the kriya. Okay, they have a force of linkage to the kriya. They actually make the kriya complete, the action complete in all senses. Whereas the shashti vibhakti is not normally, again I should say, normally not related to the kriya pada. There are cases where there is a link. They are linked directly to another noun. For example, we saw this example, Vishwamitraha Dasharatasya putrau Yagarakshanaya Tatakayaha Aranyam Nayati. So Tatakayaha Aranyam, possessor of Aranya is Tataka, in the sense of she controls it at that time. So of Tataka, and here Dasharatasya putrau, of Dasharatha, the 2 sons, and they are in karma position. But so the shashti vibhakti word is in shashti, but the karma word is in karma, that dvitiya vibhakti. Okay, so Vishwamitra is the karta for ni dhatu, the nayana kriya. Okay, so karma is putrau, the 2 sons of Dasharatha, and the destination is aranyam. So dvikarmaka. Okay, putra are the things that are taken, and aranya is the destination to which they go. Okay, and the purpose is put in Chaturthi for the purpose of protection of the yaga. So this has a force with Nidatu in Chaturthi Karaka. Aranyam has a Gauna Karma Karaka. Putrau has a Pradhana Karma Karakatva. But Dasharatha and Tataka, they are Shashti Vibhakti force linking to the corresponding Putrau and Aranyam Shabda through Shashti Vibhakti. Is that clear? What is the distinction of this Shashti Vibhakti with respect to the other Karaka Vibhaktis? I hope that you got. So we just gave them name as Adhipati and Adhigata Padas. Adhipati is the Shashti word and Adhigata is the noun to which it is linked as the possessor, the possessed. So possessor, Adhipatihi, Adhigataha, possessed. Okay. Next we saw there is one more case. It is not as if there are only 7 cases. There is one special case which is the vocative case or Sambodhana. Sambodhana, we call it Prathama only. We call it as a distinction of Prathama only, and usually only the Ekavachana form will have a different Rupa. Other Dvivachana, Bahuvachana in Sambodhana Prathama will be copycat of Prathama Vibhakti. And also why it is called Prathama? Because it closest links with the Prathama Vibhakti. So for example, you say, Hey Rama, then we say something, then that Rama is the Karta pretty much of the Karya that is being stated, or whatever target that is being stated. Okay, I mean he is the intended person. So in most cases he falls in a Prathama Vibhakti in the sentence that follows, not necessarily, but he does. So we say, Hey Rama. So for example here, Hey Rama, Sita Tatra Gacchati. I mean, where is Sita Tatra Gacchati related to Rama? Because there is an implicit Tvam Pashya, you see, like that. Okay, so even if we make a different statement, there is a call of attention to Rama for some relation to that statement. So here it is direct, Kripaya Atra Tvaraya Agaccha, Tvam Kripaya Atra Tvaraya Agaccha, like that. And then we have seen how we use boho, aye, he, etc. Whole lot of them, both before the Sambodhana Prathama and also sometimes at the end of the sentence to further call attention. So tooting twice, once here, once there. Okay, that's why appropriately the tooting picture is there about this. Okay, so this is also a special case, Sambodhana Prathama. Okay, next what we learned, that in addition to this Karaka forces and this Shashti force and this Sambodhana force, little bit Sambodhana Prathama force which we have studied in the sentence structure, there is another internoun relationship. So we are looking at internoun relations here. That powerful aspect in sentences is the adjective relationship. Okay, Visheshana Visheshya Bhava. What we importantly saw, how Samskritam deals with Visheshana Visheshya is very unique, not seen in any language. Okay, how it strengthens the bond, cements the bond between the adjective and the adjunct. I don't know whether I am using the correct phrase adjunct. Let's use it for now. We are not studying English grammar, so that's okay. Okay, so that thing is enforced by the Visheshana taking the same linga as Visheshya, the Visheshana taking the same Vachana as Visheshya, and further the Visheshana taking the same Vibhakti as Visheshya. So in Vibhakti, in Vachana and in Linga, there is 100% Samya. So that's how the strong bond between the Visheshana Visheshya is established in a sentence. Okay, not found in any language. In other languages, we necessarily have to bring what you call nearness criteria, prepositioning criteria or nearness criteria to forge the bond between the qualifier and the qualified. But in Samskritam, there is no need for that, though we don't violate that nearness criteria normally. We don't need to depend on it, because there is a marriage of Linga, Vachana and Vibhakti, which places the Visheshana uniquely with the same Karaka force as the Visheshya. Means whatever Karaka force connects the Visheshya to the Kriya will also connect the Visheshana to the Kriya. Of course, if it is Akaraka Visheshya like Shashti Vibhakti Visheshya, then the Shashti Vibhakti Sambandha only is the one remaining. Okay, Shashti Vibhakti Sambandha, Linga Samya and Vachana Samya will help us. Okay, so this is very powerful. So Raja Dasharatha, Prathama Vibhakti linking. King Dasharatha, king is also in Prathama. So Raja Amilat is also correct, Dasharatha Amilat is also correct, because both are having the Karaka force in them. But Raja has another force, internoun force called Visheshana Visheshya force, Sambandha, that is there with Dasharatha. Dhimantam Putram Ramam. So this Dhimantam is a Visheshana to Ramam, so also Putram. So you can have a stack of Visheshanas. Okay, so Dhimantam Amilat, Putram Amilat, Ramam Amilat, all will be grammatically, syntactically, semantically, meaningfully all accurate. Okay, so that Karaka force exists. In addition to that, the Visheshana Visheshya force. Say Rajadanyaha Ayodhyayaha, Shashti Sambandha. See, Rajadanyaha Amilat won't make sense, just as even Ayodhyayaha Amilat won't make sense. Okay, so something else has to be put before Amilat will make sense. So what is the possessed of Ayodhya? Sabangana. So Ayodhyayaha Sabangane Amilat or Rajadanyaha Sabangane Amilat. So if you keep that linked word, then Rajadanyaha goes through that word into Amilat, but necessarily first it goes with Ayodhya, then through Sabangana into Amilat. Okay, so here even Sabangane, the locative Saptami case in the meeting hall, also has a qualifier Vishale, also in Saptami Ekavachana too. So Vishalaha Sabanganaha, Vishale Sabangane, something like that, Saptami relationship. Okay, that's again nicely pictured here to show how these blue Visheshana sit behind the corresponding Vibhakti words that sit around the Kriyapada. So there are just three words sitting around the Kriyapada: Dasharatha, Ramam, Sabangane, Amilat. But Sabangane has Vishale, Ayodhya has Rajadanya. Ayodhya is brought in through Sabangane, Ayodhya has Sabangane, Rajadanya, Ayodhya has Sabangane. So this guy is 1, 2, 3 step removed from Kriya. Okay, but like there is a link. Rajadanya has a link to Sabangane, which has a link to Amilat. Is this clear? Shashti Sambandha, Visheshana Visheshya Sambandha. Of course, there is further Shashti Sambandha also described in this picture, just to show that it is not a exclusive of Karaka Vibhaktis, it can be for any Vibhakti. In fact, even Sambodhana Pratama, you can have a Visheshana. Okay, Hey, Sundara, Rama, like that. Both are in Sambodhana. Sundaraha Ramaha Pratama Vibhakti Ekavachana, Sundara Rama Sambodhana Pratama pairing. I didn't show it here, but I am just talking about it. It's possible. Not that it is done normally, but why not? Okay. So next is a new lesson today. I think that last slide was where we stopped last time with Visheshana Visheshya. So today I am bringing another internoun relation called Uddeshya Vidheya Bhavaha, or assignment relationship. Okay. And how it is different from Visheshana Visheshya. That is the important aspect we have to learn. Uddeshya Vidheya Bhavaha. Okay. Sambandha also there hidden in that. So Vakyartha Vivarane Apraptasya Vidheyatvam Praptamshasya Uddeshyatvam iti Siddhantah. What is the theory? The theory is that in the description of the meaning of a sentence, when we encounter that kind of challenge, the meaning that is not gotten is called Vidheyatvam. Okay, and the meaning that is gotten is called Uddeshyatvam. It's a little technical. Basically, with an example, you will appreciate this Vidheyatvam, Uddeshyatvam. For example, Aho Yeshaha Vrikshaha Unnataha Asti. Okay, now normally what we see, Unnataha Vrikshaha. Unnataha is Visheshana to Vrikshaha. We don't consider it as any different than Visheshana. But here you see the accent in the sentence. Aho, Oyo, Oho, like that. Yeshaha Vrikshaha, this tree, Unnataha Asti Re. It is tall, da, like that. Okay. So that thing, we are bringing the Unnataha, which is a Visheshana, closer to the Kriyapada to show the accent on that Unnata. What did we do? We are assigning the Aunnatya, the unknown meaning, to the Vriksha, which is a known meaning. Yeshaha Vrikshaha, known so far. And the unknown fact, unknown means that being highlighted to whoever is listening, as if he didn't know, but at least he may not be looking, right? Unnataha Asti. Okay, so tall it is. So there is a Uddeshya Vidheya Bhava also between Vriksha and Unnata, and also a you can say what we call Visheshana Visheshya Bhava. This is Visheshya, this is Visheshana also. That force exists, continues to exist. Why it exists? Because the same linga, same vachana, okay, and same vibhakti. Pratama, ekavachana, pullinga, vrikshaha, unnataha. So that continues, but here by pulling out the unnata as a latter assignment to vriksha, and also using the tone and the kaku, what we say, aho, yeshaha vrikshaha, unnataha asti. We are not saying yeshaha unnataha vrikshaha asti, something like that. No. Okay. So that is the Vidheyatva. So first example that I have brought doesn't have any distinction in types of representation in the sentence. Both are in Visheshana Visheshya Samya. So let us read about that. Vakya Vriksha Samuhe, in the heap of vrikshas, ekam drishtva, having seen one, kopi, somebody, evam vadati. First let me read it and then translate. Vriksha Samuhe ekam drishtva कोऽपि एवं वदति, अहो एषः वृक्षः उन्नतः अस्ति is not needed. So अत्र तु वृक्षस्य समूहात् एकं वृक्षं पृथक् कर्तुम् इच्छा इति न. There is no need to isolate one from the others. अपि तु पुरतः दृश्यमानं वृक्षम् उद्दिश्य उन्नतशब्देन उन्नतत्वं तस्मिन् वृक्षे विधीयते. So the tree that is in front, which is being pointed to, indicating that uddishya, indicating that unnata shabdena, with the unnata shabda, unnatatvam, the tallness in that tree, tasmin vrikshe vidhiyate, is assigned. So that's the important difference. I hope you are able to appreciate this uddeshya vidheya bhava. It's very critical in language. Okay, our ancients clean identified all this and grammar put that down in grammar. Okay, now you see this in another sentence where we just say unnatah vrikshaha yatra asti tatra mama griham vartate. There is no intent to assign aunnatya to vriksha there. It is just to identify the tree uniquely from the others, not in this sentence to assign the aunnatya. There is a aunnatya assignment. But here there is simply reference to that aunnatya, saying unnatah vrikshaha yatra asti, wherever the tall tree is there, there my house is there. So the focus is the griha. Okay, focus is not the aunnatya, but it is an important visheshana for the vriksha. Otherwise, how will you know which house, right? So विशेषण विशेष्य भावः इत्यस्य अर्थः एवं कश्चन समुदायः अस्ति तस्मात् समुदायात् एकः पदार्थः विशिष्यते भिद्यते पृथक् क्रियते शतं वृक्षाः सन्ति तेषु एकः एव उन्नतः स्यात् अतः उन्नतः वृक्षः इति स्वीकृतमस्ति. Okay, there is no vidheya, there is a known fact that it is a tall tree and we are using that fact. Here there is a vidheyaka bhava, yeshah vrikshah unnatah asti, like that. Okay, did you see the quality difference in the unnata shabda there and here? Anna Rauvarya? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So I think that is the important thing being brought up. Okay, so let's read the whole thing in Samskritam once. Vakyartha vivarane apraptasya vidheyatvam praptamshasya uddeshyatvam iti siddhantah. Praptamshah vrikshah asti iti. Apraprartah aunatyam. So apraprarthasya vidheyatvam. Unnatah iti vidheya shabdah. Vrikshah iti uddeshya shabdah. Evam. Astu va? वृक्षसमूहे एकं दृष्ट्वा कोऽपि एवं वदति अहो एषः वृक्षः उन्नतः अत्र तु वृक्षस्य समूहात् एकं वृक्षं पृथक् कर्तुम् इच्छा इति न. देयर इज नो डिजायर टू आइसोलेट इट अपि तु बट इंस्टेड पुरतः दृश्यमानं वृक्षम् उद्दिश्य पॉइंटिंग टू द ट्री दैट इज प्रेजेंट इन फ्रंट उन्नत शब्देन विद द उन्नत साउंड उन्नतत्वं तस्मिन् वृक्षे विधीयते. औन्नत्यम. Okay, or unnatatva. So aunatyam is a better word there. Anyway, different techniques are there. So is assigned to the tallness is assigned to the tree. So here unnatah vrikshah yatra asti tatra mahamagraham vartate. In this twinning sentence visheshana visheshya bhavah ityasya arthah evam kaschana samudayah asti vrikshanam samudayah तस्मात् समुदायात् एकः पदार्थः विशिष्यते एकः वृक्षः विशिष्यते भिद्यते अथवा भिद्यते डिफर्स अथवा पृथक् क्रियते or is isolated by us. शतं वृक्षाः सन्ति, hundreds of trees are there, तेषु एकः उन्नतः. That's all. We are referring to that way. Here in this sentence we are not assigning, we are using the vidheyatva that happened already or is known default to everyone. Okay. All right, so look at this now, this example. This is the interesting one. So far we were not violating the visheshya visheshana tenet, right? Unnataha and vrikshaha were samya in both those sentences, of course. Here you see when I ask ayam kaha or yeshah kaha, ayam is another type of pratipadika for yeshah, which is asmad, sorry, which is how do you call it, yeshah etad shabda, okay, or tad shabda, saha kaha, yeshah kaha, and ayam is the equivalent to yeshah. So ayam kaha, ayam Ramaha. So uddeshya is the ayam. Who is this person? Rama is the vidheya. Okay. So we know there is somebody here. That much is known. But we don't know who he is. We don't know his name. So ayam kaha, answer is ayam Rama. Okay. So there is a uddeshya videya bhava. Okay. Linga samya is of course there. But you see this further. Ramaha kaha. Next question. Ramaha kaha. Who is Rama? Ramaha mama mitram. Now you see the difference. Ramaha mama mitram. He is my friend. So now friend word has an apumsakalinga. Vidheyaka has an apumsakalinga. Rama uddeshya has a pullinga. We don't change this to mitraha. We don't change. Because at this point his mitratva is not a visheshana. His mitratva is not a generic visheshana. It's only a sambandha between me, mama is there, no? So me and Rama, whoever is answering. Okay. So Ramaha mama mitram. So this is a very naked case of uddeshya vidheya bhava, where the uddeshya is not having any visheshana force with mitratva. Okay. Visheshya visheshana force. Okay. Linga bedaha syadapi. So vidheya shabdaha भिन्न लिंगे भवेत्, चिंता नास्ति. प्रायः समान वचने भवति, तत्तु स्यात्, परन्तु भिन्न लिंगे भवितुम् अर्हति. भिन्न विभक्तौ प्रायः न, प्रथमायामेव अस्ति अत्रापि अत्रापि. So Rama is mitram. So there is a ayam Ramaha has a sarvanama force of visheshana visheshya, but here but there is more importantly uddeshya videya force in the way we stated. Ayam Ramaha as an answer. Here Ramaha mama mitram has even stronger uddeshya videya force, because there is no visheshana visheshya force that is possible, because they are not in that same adhikarana of vachana, linga and vibhakti. They are having linga variation, so they have already violated the visheshana visheshya pairing. But uddeshya vidheya bhava holds the force and it makes it a legal sentence. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
So I think Anna Ravarya has taken the responsibility for the whole team. I want some questions. Is everything clear about it? Can for example, if I call Bhanu Teja Mandla, can he make a new sentence? He or she? I think I'm not sure. No unmute. Nitin ji?
Yes, sir.
हाँ. ज्ञातं वा उद्देश्य विधेय भावः? Did you understand this uddeshya videya?
Hello.
हाँ, Nitin ji, are you hearing me? Okay. He thinks he is not audible, but that's fine. वत्सलावर्ये भवती उच्यतु किम भवती वदतु किम ज्ञातं वा सर्वं?
Sir, I am understanding, but I am not able to make sentence.
Try something. I will give you saying. So suppose, let us say I am your elder brother. So how do you say he is my elder brother?
Tam aham agrajah asti.
Saha. No tam. Saha. Tam is strilinga dvitiya vibhakti. We need to use pullinga prathama vibhakti. Saha mama agrajah asti. Okay. Athava tvam mama agrajah asi.
Asti.
Okay,
Asi.
tvam mama
Okay, sir.
agrajah asi. So when you are saying tvam mama agrajah asi, agrajah is a assignment to tvam.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
all right. So that is the videya bhava.
Yes, sir.
Or if you just say hey Anuja, hey mama agraja, there is no assignment. There is just a visheshana reference to me. Okay,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
that's the difference. All right. We are facing a network issue here, so we keep connecting and disconnecting. Sorry, Nitin Varya. What can I say?
This side everything is fine.
I think no. I get an alert if the bandwidth issue is from my side. Anyway, I have a dual internet through a double WAN, so I am usually safe. But who knows? Okay. So now there is another type of subordinated relation which is slightly distinct from karaka force in the vibhakti. So these are called subwords in Samskrita sentence grammar. See what we are studying now, if you go back up to 10,000 feet, we started with letters, we started with gunitakshara, samyuktakshara, and we understood how the basic syllable is in Samskritam, and then we went slowly into a few grammatical aspects of Samskritam. Now here we are looking at the sentence level grammar a little bit. Okay, so that we put together all these vibhakti. It's one thing to learn now how to decline the nouns, how to conjugate the verbs, etc. Another is to appreciate why we are declining, why we are conjugating, why can't we just use one form. So that is what is being brought out in the higher level grammar of sentence. Sentence is, you can say, the pinnacle object of grammar. Okay, after that is a little bit more theoretical, which also is addressed in Samskrita Shastra. Basically, why there should be chapters, etc. What should be the form of a grantha. We go up to there. We'll see some aspects of that, not every aspect. But this is the second thing. First we learn a lot about letters, then we learn about the words, then we learn about sentences, then we go little higher. So we are at the sentence level here. Okay, so subordinated relations or subwords, upapada vibhakti. So the vibhaktis that are there, these many we have studied so far through bits and pieces of example, they are not just the karaka force or the shashti force, etc. There are some other subword forces that at play which bring certain vibhaktis, okay, into play in Samskrita sentence. Okay, we have 7. So we have to make good use of them. So Samskrita Vagmaya has found that there are other forces that require a certain form of the noun to go with that neighbor word. So that's called subword relationship, subordinated relationship. So let us look at them one by one. There are quite a few. Some words like saha, with, vina, without, and certain verbs like kup, gets angry, kupyati, gets angry, bhi, bhibeti. One form is shown, one conjugated form is shown, but the dhatu is bhi, dhatu is kup. The dhatu is the force of that subordination. Okay, kup, kupyati, bhi, bhibeti are meanings that contain similar meanings, other dhatus in the similar class. Okay, irshya, whatever bhava generating dhatus, or other dhatus with this adhi. For example, adhi vasati, adhitishtati, stays in sense. Both of them have the stays in sense. Okay, force a related word into a particular case. So these guys have a certain force which is a subordination force, that the related word is forced into a particular case. Okay, in addition to sometimes the karaka force, there is this subword force at play. This is a slightly different force than the normal karaka vibhakti enforced placements. Okay, we notice that without the upapada, the normal karaka sambandha with kriya is weak or non-existent in these cases. Sometimes there is a karaka sambandha also, but it may be weak, or sometimes it may be non-existent force, the karaka sambandha. Okay, we will realize that when we try it without that kind of upapada force enforcement in place, like that. Okay, but sometimes it is there, that's all. It may be weaker, that's all. Enumerated with examples next. Is this clear what I read out? I will read again. Some words like saha, vina, these are avyayas, that's why the 0 is there. Saha, vina, which mean with and without, and a certain verbs like kup, bhi, anger, fear, which generate some feelings in us, or some forms of kriya padas like adhivasati, adhitishtati, with this adhi prefix attached to them. Okay, force a related word into particular case. This is just an open statement. With examples will make it clear to you, but understand what is there so far. This is a slightly different force than the normal karaka vibhakti enforced placements, like Ramah gacchati, Ramah Lakshmanam pruchati, Ramah Lakshmanena phalam svikaroti, Ramah Lakshmanaya phalam dadati, etc. There are karaka forces at play. Why Lakshmana is going into Dvitiya, Tritiya, etc. Okay. Here there is another force that is forcing it, is being pointed out. We notice that without the upapada, whatever is the neighbor word that is force creating the force, the normal karaka sambandha with the kriya, the default work relationship with the action is weak or non-existent in these cases. Okay, enumerated with examples next. Okay, let us see. Upapada dvitiya, karma sambandh, I mean karma positioning. Okay, upapada dvitiya positioning, let us stick to dvitiya even. Okay, Ramaha dhukkitaha bhavati, Rama becomes sad. Okay, the katanta visheshana to Rama, dukkitaha is being assigned. The dukkha is being assigned to Rama. You can see the videya. Ramaha dukkitaha bhavati. So it is not dukkitaha Ramaha asti. It is Ramaha dukkitaha bhavati. Bhudato is brought to show the happening sense of the dukkha. Okay. If it had been yesterday he was angry and he is still sad and he is still sad, then we can say Ramaha dukkitaha asti. Also, nothing wrong with as dhatu there, but bhu dhatu is having that formative force a little bit beyond as dhatu. So here now further, see, Ramaha Sitam vina dhukkitaha bhavati. Okay, without Sita, Rama becomes sad. So Rama, bereft of Sita, sad he becomes. He is. Okay, so bereft of Sita. Okay, in English we use of Sita sense, whatever that there is no vibhakti sense in English, but whatever is the of bringing that relationship of the upapada of, the whatever interject or whatever you call that of particle, that is sitting between the vina and Sita there in English, without bereft of Sita. Bereft is vina, and then of is that vibhakti we use in Samskrita. For example, in Samskrita it's very precise. Vina and saha, both of these, this is an indeclinable, and they bring a dvitiya vibhakti into force due to their presence. So, Sitam vina, without Sita. Okay, Sitam. So dvitiya vibhakti is forced on the object that is bereft for Rama. So Ramaha Sitam vina dhukkitaha bhavati. Ramaha saha will force a different thing. Okay, Sitaya saha sukhitaha, no, sukhi bhavati, something like that. Okay, Ramaha Sitaya saha sukhi bhavati. That's a different force. We will see that example. It doesn't mean everything forces dvitiya, each one has a different force. Okay. Okay, Sitaya vina also is possible. Sitayaha vina also is possible, but there is a dvitiya force possible. So Sitaya vina, okay, Sitayaha vina are also possible. One is a panchami force is also allowed here, but the dvitiya we are talking about is the dvitiya force being Sitam vina, which is most used method of relating to vina. Okay, Rama without Sita, sad he is or becomes like that. Okay, another example. Griham paritaha vrikshaha santi. There are trees, but where are the trees? Paritaha, around Around what? Griham paritah. So griham vrikshaha santi doesn't have any karaka. See, griham doesn't have any karaka force with santi in griham vrikshaha santi. The paritah vrikshaha santi has a avyaya linking in a kind of saptamyartha. Though it is an avyaya, there is saptami bhava where is being answered with paritah around. Okay. So the dvitiya is an upapada force relinking to paritah. Griham paritah vrikshaha santi. Around the house, karma pada. See, griham paritah vrikshaha santi. So the dvitiya force in griham is not at all due to santi, it is due to the paritah. So it is not a karaka dvitiya, it is a upapada dvitiya. That has been identified by our grammarians long back in the way in which they looked at requirements of bhasha, speaking. Okay, so griham paritah vrikshaha santi. So in Kannada we use different way. It's not exactly like dvitiya in Kannada. Manayannu suttalu. No, we say manaya suttalu. We take shashti force. Grihasya paritah we take. It doesn't sound wrong in Samskritam, but Samskritam has a requirement of upapada dvitiya for this kind of usages, not shashti. It will not be not understood, but it is not the technically accurate way to go. That's all. Okay, so griham paritah is the way to go. So Ramah vanam adhivasati atava adhitishtati. So Ramah vasat kutrapi vasati. So when we don't have adi shabda, Ramah vane vasati, we say Ramah lives in the vana, vane vasati. But when we use adhivasati, which means establishes himself, then we go vanam adhivasati, not vane adhivasati. Okay, if it is just vasati, vane vasati. Vanam adhivasati atava adhitishtati. Okay, so vane tishtati, vanam adhitishtati, vane vasati, vanam adhivasati. So there is a upapada force forcing the vana shabda from saptami karaka to dvitiya upapada force. Not a karaka, it's dvitiya upapada force, upapada vibhakti force. Okay, so this is called upapada dvitiya force. Okay, it's a little technical, but unless we understand this concept, what I am trying to teach you is, in addition to the karaka force of nouns with kriyas in a sentence, there are other forces. Visheshana Visheshya force visa, Uddeshya Videya Bhava visa. Now we are seeing a upapada force called upapada dvitiya, subordinated relations. Okay. So Ramah Sitam vina dukkitah bhavati, griham paritah vrikshaha santi, vanam adhivasati. Ramah vanam adhivasati, vanam adhitishtati. Anna Ravarya?
Sir, upapadas lists are this thing finite.
Yeah. I mean, it's finite in the sense there you can extend it to a lot of examples, but yes, in the sense it is defined, it is finite. Yeah, correct. Because adhivasati, adhitishtati is a small subset of the huge, But anything that is close to this is also included there by meaning. Okay.
Yeah.
So upapada tritiya example we can see now.
Can I use like this, Surya? So adhi niyamam, for example, niyama is there, trying to make it adhiniyamam. It's like this in
adhiniyamanam. Adhiniyamanam is the infinitive form.
Dharme adhiniyamanam palanam sarvebhyah kartavyam. That means we have to follow dharma.
See here, okay, good. So easier way is Ramah dharmam adhitishtati. Simple, take Rama again for now. Ramah dharmam adhitishtati. Okay, that means adhitishtati is a very broad term. It can be used for staying within the boundaries of dharma also, not just in vana. Okay, so Ramah dharmam adhitishtati, like that you can use. Adhivasati, dharmam adhivasati, like that you can use. Very good. I mean, what Varya brought out is it necessarily need not be a physical location, it can be a mental location. So dharma is a mental concept, right? It is a behavioral mental construct which results in physical acts, but that is different. But the concept is a theoretical concept of how we have to be. It's a way of life, etc. Thought process, dharma. So of course the acts follow, karma follows, but that can also be there. So Ramaha dharmam adhitishtati, like that. Bhakti, for example, also is a bhava that we place like that.
Yeah.
Okay, Upapada Tritiya we will see. Okay, Karanam, that is Tritiya is normally Karana Karaka, right? In the Karaka force, but here it is a Upapada Tritiya force in place of Karana force. What is it in place of is being talked about. Ramaha Sitaya Saha Tritiya. Okay, Sitaya Saha Sukhena Vasati. See, Dukkita Bhavati replaced with Sukhena Vasati. So, Ramaha Sitaya Saha Sukhena Vasati. Other things are there like Saha, there is Sakam, Sardham, etc. All these are avyayas in the sense of with. Okay, so Saha, Sakam, Sardham, few more may be there. Okay, but few are listed here. So Ramaha Sitaya Sakam Sukhena Vasati. Ramaha Sitaya Sardham Sukhena Vasati. Okay. So Tritiya is force, not Sitam Saha like Sitam Vina was used. So Tritiya Upapada force exists with the word with equivalent, which is Saha, Sakam, Sardham. Vina is without equivalent, which forces Dvitiya. Okay. Bhavavachaka kriya visheshanam. Sita santoshena pathati. Okay. So the Sita pathati. So Sita reads. So now we want to bring a quality to the patana kriya. So happiness is the quality of the patana. So santoshena patati, with happiness she reads, like that. Okay. So this santoshena is a kriya visheshana force bringing tritiya into the patana kriya, because patana kriya doesn't require an instrument of santosha, but it is a quality of her reading. So it is a quality force of upapada tritiya due to the kriya visheshanatva bhava of patana kriya. Okay, all right. So there is a kind of upapada force there. There is a variant. For example, if you use the sa prefix to santosha, sa santosha means with happiness. Since with has already come, okay, it takes dvitiya form. Sita sa santosham pathati. It won't take the tritiya vibhakti form in that case. Sa santosham pathati, like that, with happiness. Because sapada has already introduced the with sense. Ena, the tritiya pratyaya is not needed, which brings the with force here. Right? With force comes with sasantosha. So now upapabad dvitiya goes. Sita sasantosham pathati, like that. That's also kriya visheshana, but the force is different because tritiya force of with is not needed. Sa brings that in, so we take the dvitiya sambandha there. So okay, Sita sasantosham patati. I wish I had added that here, but that belongs there. So maybe after I introduce this, I have to show that sentence up. Maybe in my future upgrade of the slide I will do that. I'll put an arrow and put it there. Okay. So just I am giving some examples. This is not an exhaustive teaching of the subordinated relationship. Okay. But what I have not seen is a very what I value I am bringing in these slides and lessons is something that I have gathered by reading over time, which I haven't seen concretely outlined anywhere. Actually, in one of our Samskrita Bharati's Patralaya Dwara Samskritam, they have in the first level itself, they teach some of these upapadas, but they don't kind of go technically detailed like I have tried to go. Because there the Samskrita Bharati is very much afraid of bringing too much of what you call shistu, or what we call, that paddhati aspect. They want to bring examples aspect there. They want to students to learn a lot of sentences and internalize it rather than being taught grammatically. But here I am dealing with you guys who need to later on work at this grammar level, because when you go into natural language processing, Okay, it is very important for you to understand the various relationships and forces that are at play at sentence level. That's why I am treating it very technically in these lessons. Okay, it's not to make you bhasha pravinas, it is to actually make you technically knowledgeable about Samskrita sentence level grammar aspects. Okay, so next is upapada chaturthi sampradana, what is normally sampradana karaka. Okay, the receiver of a dana kriya, that force is also coming into play, not necessarily for only dana kriya, for da, dhatu and equivalents, but also for other things like this. For example, moodaha panditaya asuyati, a fool will feel the asuya. How do you translate in English? Irshya, asuya. Anantaramanvarya, what did you say? Hates is different, but
Jealousy.
Jealous, yeah. Thanks, Varya. Thanks, Annaravariya. Jealous, yeah. So, moodaha panditaya asuyati. So, the fool is jealous for the pandit. We say, no, in English, for the pandit, like that we say. Okay, of the pandit also we use, for the pandit also we use, but of and for, that kind of relationship. Okay, in Samskrita, the Chaturthi Vibhakti is the one that brings that relationship for asuya. So, Panditam asuyati, no, Pandita is not a karma of asuya. Pandita is a Chaturthi Upapada force of asuya. So, Moodaha Panditaya asuyati. Ravanaha Ramaya asuyati. Sita Ramasya patni kila. Tadartham Ravanaha Ramaya asuyati. Like that. Okay. So, Panditaya asuyati. Panditaya krudyati. Panditaya druhyati. Droha. Bhava. Krodha bhava. Asuya bhava. They are all linked one after the other. If you see Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan teaches us that relationship between various feelings. Anyway, moodaha panditaya asuyati atava krudyati atava druhyati are other bhavas that could potentially come in the negative space potentially. Okay, again it could come for positive senses also, not always negative, but we'll see more examples. Mahyam tubhyam tasmai, all are in chaturthi ekavachana. Okay, so for me, for you, for him, this senses. Okay, madhuram rochate. Okay, madhuram swadate. So modakaha rochate, modakaha swadate. See here, sentence is ruch dhatu is little special dhatu in Samskritam. This svad dhatu, ruch dhatu, it is almost by nature that dhatu is object oriented, not subject oriented. Okay, it's almost like has a built-in fixation in the object rather than the doer action. So, of course, the ruchi is in swadutva, the ruchi is in the person, either me, you or him, but they go to chaturthi. The force is changed. Saha rochate, no, tasmai rochate. So, the ruch dhatu has a non what you call kartrikaraka force on the person who does the liking, and it is linked to the karma directly. So, it's almost like a auto karmani, we say it. Okay, so madhuram tasmai madhuram rochate, but it is not in karma, it is actually so called kartari version of the dhatu, but it seems to flow like karma. It's a little bit of exception type of dhatus. Okay,
Ramaha Sitayai Pushpam Dadati.
That one is a normal karaka force.
Chaturthi.
Chaturthi, normal force, karaka force, Sitayai. She is the recipient of the pushpa. So she goes to Chaturthi in the Sampradana karaka force. Your example. Okay? Good. So what you showed was a normal Sampradana example of Ramaha Sitayai Pushpam Dadati. Okay, Rama is the karta, Pushpa is the object of giving, and the person who receives it, Sita. So she goes to Sitayai, which is the Chaturthi Ekavachana of Sita Shabda. Well done. Okay, but here rochate. So Sitayai Ramaha rochate. That is the form we are talking about. Okay. very interesting dhatu, ruch dhatu, swad dhatu, this kind of. Okay. Gurave namaha astu. So we are saying, may there be our bowing downs, whatever you want to call it in English, namaha, bow downings, may there be. Gurave astu. Okay, so we go a Chaturthi. Okay, Gurave namaha, Devaya namaha, Vishnave namaha. We use it without thinking what is the grammar involved in taking them to Chaturthi. So basically, it's as if we are offering this namana to them and they are the recipients of the namana. So that's where the Chaturthi force. But it comes in this sense of this namaha astu, forces this recipient mode in Guru. Okay, Gurave namaha, Devaya namaha, Vishnave namaha astu. Chaturthi force is there. Okay, Swastihi astu, namaha astu. Many other words can come there. Okay, Prajabhyah swasti. Yeah, swasti shabda has come in. So Prajabhyah swasti. Okay, for all the people. So Bahuvachana.
Swasti prajabhyah paripalayantam.
It is there in some verse. Okay.
Yeah. Nyayena margena mahishaha.
Where does it come, Varya?
This is Ajra mantra. Swasti prajabhyah paripalayantam nyayena margena mahishaha. Go brahmanebhya shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu.
The loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Beautiful. Must be from Upanishad maybe, I don't know. Sounds regular Vedic verse only, yeah?
Yeah. Then kale varshad parjanyah prativi sasyashalini deshoyam kshobarahito sajjana santu nirbhayaha.
Very good Ashirvada shloka, no?
Yeah. Next, aputra putrina santu pautrina adana sadana santu jivantu sharadam shatam.
Sharadam shatam. May there be prosperity in the progeny, etc. And may everybody have a great, happy life, long life.
Beautiful mantra.
Beautiful for Ashirvada. So these are Upapada forces of Sampradana sense. Not, but the Chaturthi force we call Upapada Chaturthi force. Okay. Panchami. Okay, Upapada Panchami force. Apadana. Normally what is Apadana Karaka has a Upapada Panchami force also at play, which is coming for the fifth case. For example, Bhitihi. Bhaya. So when we say Mama Bhitihi, my fear, Asti or Bhavati. Mama Bhiti Bhavati. Kasmat is the question. From what? So Sarpat Bhitihi Bhavati. So this has a Upapada force. There is actually a little bit of Karaka force. Sarpat Bhavati also is not irrelevant. There is a weak Karaka force of from the snake it happens. But Bhiti is the larger force bringing the Panchami Bhava. Bhiti Shabda, which is Prathama. Okay, which is the Karta of the Bhudatu. Okay, that is bringing Sarpat into the equation in Panchami. Okay, so for example, normally we can say Sarpasya Bhitihi, like that. But Samskritam defines, no, then Bhiti is there. Panchami is dictated through Upapada Panchami. Don't use all weak Sarpasya, Sarpe and all that. Use Sarpat from the snake as a source of your fear. So he is the origin of your fear. So Mama Sarpat Bhitihi Bhavati. It's not a Karaka force as much as it is a Upapada force with Bhitihi. Okay, that's what I'm bringing that pink lines from the enforcer to the enforced Vibhakti. Okay, alright. Bhitihi, Bayaha, some other things can come there. Okay, Devaha Mam Apayat Rakshati Duri Karoti. So Apayat, from the danger. Okay, so source case Apayat Rakshati. So Devaha Mam Rakshati. Kasmat Rakshati. Apayat Rakshati. Okay, so that is a force there. Again, this one you can say even the Karaka force also exists, but that is because the Upapada force is due to the Dhatu usage. Rakshati, Duri Karoti, like that. Okay, and then here
Shishyaha Guroho Jnanam Prapnoti.
Shishya guroho jnanam prapnati. Normal Shishya Prathama Vibhakti, Guroho Shishti Vibhakti Sambandha, Jnanam the possessed of the Guru, Guroho Jnanam.
Yes.
Prapnoti, the Jnanam goes to karma position because the getter now is Shishya. Okay, Shishya is
Shishya
Prathama,
is the
Guru
Chaturthi, right?
Jnanam is Dvitiya now. But there is
Guru and
no upapada force anywhere in that sentence.
no.
No. Good. See, when you try out Varya and we analyze the relationships in our mind, which we normally don't do, we just take it for granted and move. But here we are being technically nutty about it, saying why the Vibhakti, what is the force at play in bringing it into that Vibhakti. That analysis, when we do, we can distinguish between Karaka Vibhakti and Upapada Vibhakti. Okay. Ramah Bharatat Purvaha Asti. So Rama is prior to. Okay. So it's a Visheshana. Purvaha is a Visheshana to Rama, but it is a Videya Bhava here. Okay. It's not Purvaha Ramaha. It is Ramaha something Purvaha. So Videyaka Bhava is there in the Purva, but it brings into question he is prior to whom. Okay. Bharatat Panchami is used in Samskrita. For to whom?
Purva can be
From Bharata he is prior. That is the literal translation, but the final English sense is he is elder to Bharata. That is the sense of this. Ramaha Bharatat Purvaha. Like that.
Purvaha can be also considered as late, no?
In another context, correct, Varya. Here it is nothing else said, it is about Agraja Anuja relationship, but Ramaha Bharatat Purvaha eva Agatavan. Then it is temporal. But Rama need not be elder in that relationship, just he should come earlier. The Kriyapada eventually would lead to that conclusion, but here the Kriyapada absent, we are assuming a elderly and younger relationship. Okay. So for example, Lakshmanaha Bharatat Paraha. But like Mahodaya said, I don't know who said it, but he was very proper. So Lakshmanaha Bharatat Paraha. So for example, Ramaha Bharatat Paraha eva Agatavan. Actually, whether Paraha will apply there, because Paraha is a Visheshana to Rama. There Para are used in a different sense maybe. So I have to check. Param eva Agatavan, something may come. Slightly different version may come there, but the sense is different there. Yeah. Purvameva, Param eva. Like that we use. Yeah. Ramaha Bharatat Purvameva Jataha. Ataha Ramaha Bharatat Purvaha. Like that. Jataha being born. Okay. So this is another place where you use Panchami like that. Not always because Vrikshat Parnam Patati like that. I mean, we are showing other type of Panchami usages. Okay. And then Shashti Sambandha also. For example, Ramaha Dasharathinam Dhasharatinam. There is a mistake here. Okay. I have forgotten the Vriddhi. So I'll read it correctly. Ramaha Dasharatinam Shreshtaha. Dasharatinam Agrajaha. Of the Dasharathis, that means of the sons of Dasharatha. So that is brought with Shashti Sambandha here. Dasharatinam. Okay. Dasharatehe, Dasharatyoho, Dasharathinam. Something like that is the declension. Okay. Dasharathi Shabda. Ikaranta Pullinga Shabda. So Dasharathinam Shreshtaha. I'll edit the. Oh, there is da. Why am I not reading?
Yeah, it is da.
It is correct only. Typed correctly only. Okay. So Dasharathinam Shreshtaha Atava Agrajaha. Like that. Okay. So when we select one out of a lot, that lot can go into Shashti. But you will see next, immediately next, you will see you can use a Saptami force also. Okay. So another example of Shashti is Dharmarajaha Pandavanam Shreshtaha. In Samskrita, a Shashti force is allowed for picking one of many. Okay. So of the Pandavas, he is the superior, or amongst the Pandavas, he is superior also is possible in Samskritam, just like in English, and that will be the next. Okay. Dharmarajaha Pandaveshu Shreshtaha is also allowed. So two types of upadas are allowed. So amidst the Pandavas, he is the best. Shrestha being best or maybe eldest also in that sense, but here it is of the Pandavas sense, Shashti sense. Okay. So Dhasharatishu Shreshtaha. So Dasharathinam Shashti Bahuvachana, Dasaratishu Saptami Bahuvachana. Both are allowed. So Upapada Saptami, singling out, is possible in Shashti and Saptami. So Manaveshu Kshatriyaha Shuraha, amongst people the warrior clan are brave, like that. So different what you call, because a certain thing is, certain context is present, there is a certain vibhakti enforcement which we call as subordinated relations, subwords, upapada vibhakti. In some cases there is a karaka force, in some cases it's clearly absent, as we can see earlier. Okay.
Vidyarthi kakshayam pathanti.
Vidyarthinah kakshayam patanti.
Pathanti. So kakshayam is
simple saptami there.
Yeah.
Simple saptami, locative saptami. So adhikarana karaka force is there in the patanti kriya. Kutra patanti, kakshayam patanti. All right. So anyway, we will probably what's the, yeah, so it's a good time to take a break now. So take a short 4-minute break, water break. 11:09, 11:10 or so we will start again and continue our studies. Okay, please take a break.
Recording stopped.
Okay. Welcome back. So we saw this other reasons for certain, sorry, welcome back. So we saw the other reason for imparting certain vibhaktis on words due to interword forces rather than through karaka force which exists with the kriya pada. And we saw, of course, in some cases there is a karaka force also remaining at force, but there is a stronger interword requirement that forces those vibhaktis. Okay. All right. So next we will understand. We saw one example earlier, but we will see this as a separate subject. So far the visheshana that we studied, the adjective that we studied, is for nouns. Of course, in English we call it adjective for nouns. But there is a concept of kriya visheshana which is called adverb in English. So adjectives for verbs are adverbs. Okay. Basically adverb is a short for adjectives for verbs. Okay, it's kriya visheshana in Samskritam, and how that is at play we will see. Okay, with lots of examples. So for example, Mata Shuklam Odanam Pachati. So here Shuklam Odanam Pachati. So Mata Odanam Pachati. Mother cooks the rice. Okay. So Shuklam Odanam Pachati. So this is a karma visheshana. So this is a normal noun visheshana. White rice she cooks. Shuklam Odanam Pachati. Atra tu Shuklam iti Odana padasya nama visheshanam. So this is not a kriya visheshana. Just to learn what is visheshana again, we are quickly bringing one simple example. Here now you see. Kriya visheshanam tat yat kriyayam visheshya nignam. The Lakshana Katana in Samskrita Vangmaya is kriya visheshanam tat yat kriyayam visheshya nignam. Kriya visheshana is that which is desiring a target in kriya as a visheshya. Okay. So for example, Mata Odanam Mrudu Pachati. She cooks it soft. Paryaptam Pachati. Sufficient quantity she cooks. Samyak Pachati. Properly she cooks. I am not bringing Mata Odanam again and again. I am just showing how many possibilities are there. See, she struggles so hard for us. Mata Odanam Mrudu Pachati. Paryaptam Pachati. Samyak Pachati. Paryaptam is quantity nature of the Pachana Kriya. Samyak is the appropriate scientific nature of the cooking. Shanaihi Pachati. She doesn't raise the gas and cook for us, which will make for bad tasting rice. Shanaihi Pachati. Atava Savadhanam Pachati. With care she cooks. Vegena pachati, with quickly. I mean, though she cooks it slowly, she brings the whole process to a closure by starting the work early. So Vegena pachati, so that you can go to your office. Javena, Jhatiti, Shigram, lots of paryaya padas for Vegena pachati. So many types of Kriya Visheshanas are brought into. So you can bring it all in one sentence. Mata, Odanam, Mrudu, Paryaptam, Samyak, Shanaihi, Shigram, Pachati. Like that you can say. Shanaihi, Shigram in one place may sound like an oxymoron, but they each have their sense. While the cooking act is slow, the whole act is completed in time. So you can say that also. Nothing wrong. Okay. Maybe you can, in another context, you can see them as contrasting. Okay. So all these words, Mrudu, Paryaptam, Samyak, Shanaihi, Jhatiti or Shigram, all these are Kriya Visheshanas, which are having their Visheshanatva snuck into the Pachana Kriya. Okay. Shishuhu Uchchaihi Krandati, loudly he cries. So this Uchchaihi is a Kriya Visheshana. And it's an avyaya. Most of them tend to be avyayas. Okay, some of them are actually not avyayas, but most of them tend to be avyayas. Though sometimes they look like tritiya vibhakti shabda. Shanaihi sounds like a tritiya vibhakti shabda. Okay, Vegena sounds like tritiya. Uchchaihi sounds like tritiya. But others sound like dvitiya. Paryaptam, Shigram, like that. But many of them tend to be avyayas. They are not available in other declensions. So they are kind of fixated in that form. So we don't anymore treat them as some dvitiya shabda. We treat them as avyaya in that sense of kriya visheshanatva. Okay. Mrudu is a napumsaka type of thing. So I don't know whether it has declension, but at least here. Yeah. Okay. So this is the kriya visheshan. Gaika nichaihi gayati. She sings with a low voice, like that. Okay. Kriya visheshanam tat yat kriyayam visheshya nignam. So now look, Mata samyak pachati. So samyak is an avyaya shabda and is a kriya visheshana. So the question that we can ask, katham, is normally how we question the kriya visheshana. Katham pachati, katham gacchati, katham gayati, katham krandati, katham karoti, like that. Okay. Sometimes this gives a visheshana to the kriya, sometimes it is a karaka of third case with something. Okay. Katham gacchati, yanena gacchati. That is not a kriya visheshana there. There the katham can be answered with the tritiya vibhakti force of with a vehicle. But in another, shigram gacchati, then katham is being answered with a kriya visheshana. Shanaihi gacchati, another type of visheshana. Okay, it's not a karana karaka. It is a kriya visheshana sambandha. Okay, so that is that adverbs. So kakah uddayate, crow flies. Okay, it's a atmanepadi dhatu, flies. Okay, kakah jhatiti uddayate, rapidly it flies, like that. Instantly, rapidly, this kinds, quickly, this sense. This is again is an avyaya, though it does have a kind of a genesis in jhat iti. There are two kind of avyayas, but it is now compounded avyaya jhat iti. Okay, jhat is like a sound anukarana. It's like a way we speak, na jhat oktane, like that. The jhat is, see, these things are there in Samskritam. Okay, jhat iti, I mean quickly, like that sense. Sound anukarana, I mean basically udgara anukarana shabdas. In Kannada plenty are there, julu julu, kila kila, like that. Samskrita also has such words. Katham uddayate, jhatiti uddayate, vegena uddayate, shigram uddayate, like this. Java shabda is also there for the javena. Okay, for example, something like adhite, which means learns. Ramaha adhite, Rama learns something, we don't know what. But katham adhite, kim adhite, Rasayana Adite, Karmapada. Ramaha Rasayana Adite. Poor Rama is doing so many things for us. Very, very, what you call, helpful guy for us to learn Samskrita. So, Ramaha Rasayana Adite. Katham Adite, how does he learn? Samyak Adite could be one answer. Or you can bring Vipravat Adite, just as a normal Shastri has to learn. That way he learns. Vipravat Adite. Okay, Kriya Visheshanam. Vat Pratyaya has been brought in. Okay. So, Vipravat Adite. It's an Avyaya, but that Vat has made the Vipra Shabda an Avyaya. Okay, Tadvat. Also can. That way. Vat is way suffix. Okay. Vipravat. There are a few suffixes like that which are all the Taddita suffixes, we call them. These suffixes we add them to Nama Pratipadikas and make new nouns. In this case an Avyaya noun, which is indeclinable noun, Vipravat, like Vipra. Kshatriyavat. For example, here it can be Vipraha Kshatriyavat Yuddhati, something like that. So this normal guy who is to be holding Veda Granthas, he is fighting like a Kshatriya, like that. The Peshwas were like that, right? And in Shivaji's era. Okay, yeah. So the slightly different type of qualities have brought in under this. Now let us see some more about this. Kriya Visheshanatve ete Avyayapadani iti ganana. In the position of a Kriya Visheshana, these are dealt with like Avyayas, like Mrudu, Paryaptam, Samyak. Some are regular Avyayas, some are enforced into Avyayatva in the Kriya Visheshana. So Mrudu, Paryaptam, Samyak, Shanaihi. Yadyapi Tritiya Bahuvachanantam Rupam Asya. It has a Tritiya Bahunancha Rupa like Shanaihi. Okay, but actually Shani Shabda means slow. That's why Saturn is named so. Amongst our humanly observable planets, he is the slowest, who has a 60-year cycle, as you guys know. Okay, so that's why Shashti Purti, because Shani comes in the same position with respect to our birth star at 60th year. Okay, so anyway, that's all different. So he's called the slow planet in Samskrita. Okay, so yadyapi tritiya bahochanantam rupam asya parantu shanaihi iti avyayam eva. Mandam, shigram, savegam, with speed, savadhanam, sasantosham, vegena or savegam. Okay, savadhanataya or savadhanam. Sasantosham, see, sasantosham, santoshena, sasantosham, that came also. So, paranto, vegena, javena, santoshena, dhukkena, eteshu tritiya vibhakti pratyayah asti itivat bhati. It's as if, because we have dukkha in other declension available. Okay. So, it's not as if it's not present in other forms, but it is a Tritiya Vibhakti usage of Kriya Visheshana is kind of thing. Okay. So there is a Kriya Visheshana force for Tritiya Vibhakti also possible, in addition to normal instrument force like Yanena Gacchati, like that. Santoshena Gacchati. Santosha is not a carrier of the person. Ramaha Santoshena Gacchati. So Santosha is a Kriya Visheshana force of Tritiya there. Okay. So that is the adjective for verbs for you. Lots of avyayas, some Tritiya Vibhakti style usages, some Dvitiya Vibhakti style usages, both we see. But they are actually avyayas in that place. So potentially there is a kind of weak Karanakaratva in them, but not really. Any questions? Okay,
No.
time to do some test. Ayushwarya, you can unmute. Ayushwarya, you can't unmute. Bhatji, I am not getting the Pratispandana I need to continue. I am feeling like I am forcing myself on you guys. Unless you guys enjoy this teaching and benefit from it, there is no point for me.
Maybe I think we can go around like this, what you have done. Next class, people will be really prepared. Probably.
No, like
because
if there is no
face-to-face was something
Pratispandan, I
different.
don't want to impose myself on you guys.
I
No, sir, it is
understand.
not like that. We are understanding.
No, so I'll ask a question. When I say Ayush, can you answer a question? He doesn't unmute. What am I here for?
Maybe
I can just teach Bhatvarya and Annaravarya if they are interested. Please don't join this class if you are not getting it. Don't let it not be an imposition. Okay? Only if you have hearty participation, I would like to teach. Huh?
I think what can be done is after every this one, maybe we can go one round. People will be.
I am trying to go,
today.
but nobody is unmuting. Sagar Varya,
Okay,
would you like to answer a question if I ask?
Yes, sir.
Sagar?
Maybe you can request everyone to unmute. Let's see that how many people are really active here. Okay.
Anantraman Varya is active. He in fact even offered some sentences. Thanks, Anantram Varya.
Yes.
So
yes,
Anantraman
yes.
Varya, so please
He's senior.
construct for me a sentence with a Kriya Visheshanam with your own thought process. Okay?
Sir, I'm very, very sorry. I'm a Sanskrit student only, but this is my first class.
Today is the first class. I requested him to join. He-
Okay. No problem.
Yeah, he's also like me. Since I think 2-3 months he's.
Okay,
in the
Vatsala
CDAC.
Varya is ready with an example with Kriya Visheshana. Vatsala Varya, use some good sentence with Kriya Visheshana.
Yes, sir. Bhatvaryah Shushtu Shrunoti.
Very good. See, she used a word not seen on the screen. Brilliant. Bhatvaryah sushtu shrunoti. Anye sarve katam shrunoti.
Anya sarve
Api sushtu shrunvanti. Okay, let us say. Samyak Bhagini, Dhanyavadaha. Anybody else wants to volunteer a sentence? Including Bhatvarya and Annaravarya. Yeah. Okay. We'll move forward.
Okay.
Yeah, we can.
Next subject is the voices in sentences. Okay. So what we know in English as active, passive voices. In fact, there is one more voice called impersonal voice also. So they are called Kartari, Karmani and Bhave Prayogas. Okay. Kartari is active voice, Karmani is passive voice and Bhave is impersonal voice. Okay. So let us learn them. So active voice. What is active voice? So all the Kriya Padas, okay, they actually have two forms. One is called the active form and another is called the passive form. The passive form can be Karmani or Bhave. So both Karmani and Bhave are in nature passive and Kartari is active. But there is a distinction between, within the passive voice, there is a distinction between normal passive and impersonal voice. Okay, we will bring that out today. How Samskritam deals with these voices. See how beautifully scientifically engineered this whole thing is, which is why Bhasha is so high quality today, because of the effort of our ancient rishis and pandits to make this color variations. So that pervades all the in fact a lot of languages, but it is very perfected in the Indo-European languages due to the origins in this kind of grammar. Okay. So Kartari, Karmani, Bhave Prayoga. Active voice, we will see Kartari or Kartru Prayoga. You can say Kartari. What is this Kartari word? It is Kartru Shabda only. Kartri Shabda in Pratama Vibhakti is Karta, like that. Karta, Kartarau, Kartarah, Pitru Shabdavat. Pita, Pitarau, Pitarah. Same way, Karta, Kartarau, Kartarah. So, they same thing in Saptami is Kartari. In the Karta, in the doer is the Kartari. So, the placement of the Kriya in the Karta is the sense of Kartari. So, Kriya, Kartari, Upavishati. Okay? Kriya sits in the Karta. Kriya, Karmani, Upavishati. It sits in the Karma. In Bhava, Bhava means in itself, in its own meaning. So, Bhave Upavishati. It sits in its own meaning. Doesn't have a reference to either a Karma or a Karta. Okay? That is the difference between Kartari, Karmani, Bhave. And in Samskrita, they identified this and designed the Kriya Padas to suit those needs. Okay? However much you may want to believe everything emerged scientifically because millions of people spoke at once scientifically, it has to be dictated a little bit. This is the way to use this, like that, and then it passes on through lineage. Okay? If we leave it to the masses, we will come with languages that are not very scientific. Okay? Cannot be put under the table of rules, etc., because only exceptions will rule. Okay? So now here, but the needs are understood. Once you understand the needs of the language, you can adapt the language style to those needs perfectly. That's what has happened here. So active voice, Kartari Prayogaha. So Ramaha Lakshmanena Saha Gramam Gacchati. Rama with Lakshmana. So this is Upapada Tritiya. Lakshmanena Saha Gramam Karma Gacchati. So Gacchati, who goes, is the active voice sense of Gacchati. So this is called Lat Kartari form of the Gacchati. So Rama goes. So the goes word is in the form of goes, in English of course, to go with Rama being the one who goes. Okay? So Rama goes, you go, I go. So goes, go are the three entries in English table. But in Samskrita table, Ramaha gacchati, tvam gacchasi, aham gacchami. Very precise distinction. Okay? Ramaha gacchati, tvam gacchasi, aham gacchami. So those are all Kartari variants. Of course, here if it is Janaha, plural, Janaha gachanti. Yuyam gachatah. Okay? Vayam gacchamaha. Again, even Bahuvachana there is distinction. Additionally, there is a Dvivachana column also available in Samskrita, which is unique to itself. Okay? So, Lat Kartari. Lat being Vartamana Kala. That means this act is happening now. And this is placed in the Karta. So, it is an active Kriya Pada. What makes the sentence active voice? The Kriya is in active force. Okay, sits on the Karta. That's what makes it active voice. The word active voice doesn't describe it so much as word Kartari does. The Kriya sits in the Karta. Kriya sits in the Karma. Kriya sits
what is the meaning? What is the meaning it gives? Rama Lakshmana entered the village or living
Rama with Lakshmana to the village he goes.
Goes.
I can understand. So first time you are entering, the group that I am addressing, significant number of them have attended a kind of a interactive course that I conducted for them in CDAC, where they understand the basic meaning of this sentence. So I didn't go into the detail. Thanks for bringing to my attention. So Rama as the subject with Lakshmana is brought with Lakshmanena Saha Gramam Gacchati. This is the object of going, Karma Grama, and Gamana Kriya is indicated by Gacchati, and it is in active voice because the Gacchati form is a Kartari form which sits in Karta. So it goes with Rama. Same sentence we can make it passive. We will see that next. Okay. So here Gacchati is a Latlakara Kartari Tinganta. It's a Kriyapada. But you can also use Kridantas. So Gatavan, for example, is a personified Kridanta. past participle form of the action of going. That means what is the meaning of gatavan? Some masculine fellow who went in the past. So Ramah gatavan. So it is a tavatu pratyaya kridanta applied to the same gam dhatu to personify the gamana kriya upon Rama. So by very nature it is a kartari tavatu gatavan, Ramah gatavan, like that. Okay, and then agachat is a lang lakara. Okay, so I am just showing, not necessarily every time we have to bring this Vartamana Kala examples, but I didn't want to complicate your life, so I am not bringing the other forms. So like we know 10 lakaras are there. You can show this sentence in any of those lakaras depending on the context. Okay.
युवकः वाहनं चालयति or चालितवान्.
Chalayati, correct. Chalayati is active voice except it is parartha form. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes it run rather than he runs. Yuvakaha chalati is he moves. Vahanam chalayati, he makes the vehicle move. Yeah, makes sense is chalayati. That is still kartari, but it is in the so-called pararthanich form. We call it technically. That means it is in making somebody else do the act. Again, sir.
चालकः वाहनं वेगोत्कर्षे चालयति.
Vegena chalayati. Simple. Simple will. Savegam chalayati. Vegena chalayati. Very good. Bringing a kriya visheshana into force. So if we wanted to say he went, then we can use the lang agachat. This is kriya pada. So Ramaha gramam agachat. Ramaha Lakshmanena saha grama. Lakshmanena saha is not bringing anything into this equation. I am just showing slightly complex sentence than simple 3 word sentences. Okay, but I am teaching you they are there because we learnt how to use saha, upapada, tritiya, etc. I am using those things also in the context. So you can mentally grade it out and focus on Ramaha gramam gacchati, Ramaha gramam agachat, or Ramaha gramam gatavan. If gatavan is there, then there is a adhyakrita kriya pada because we need ekating vakyam to be satisfied. So Ramaha gramam gatavan asti, something like that.
In this letter, in Sanskrit, there is no conjunction, right? Rama and Lakshmana, we don't say. Rama, Lakshmana means understood.
No. There is no pairing of Rama and Lakshmana in that sense here. If you wanted to say Ramaha Lakshmanaha cha, you have to say. There is conjunction with cha word. Rama Lakshmana or Rama Lakshmana, which is a dvandva samasa. Okay, yeah. Rama Lakshmana is a dvandva samasa, or Ramaha Lakshmanaha cha, it's a separated vakya. Ramaha Lakshmanaha cha gramam, but gacchati won't apply because now you have brought Lakshmana in the karta position. By saying Ramaha Lakshmanaha cha, you have brought Lakshmana as a co-conspirator of the going kriya, of the gamana kriya. So gacchati has to go to dvivachana, gacchataha. Okay, Ramaha Lakshmanaha cha gacchataha. This saha and all you can put gramam. Saha goes away because Lakshmana becomes the karta. So Ramaha Lakshmanaha cha gramam gacchataha. Okay, gacchati gacchataha gacchanti. So Ramaha Lakshmanaha Sita cha gramam gacchanti. Okay, same way Ramaha Lakshmanaha cha gramam agacchata. Some form is there in dvivachana. Okay, agacchanta in bahuvachana. Some form will be there. Agachan is the bahuvachana form there. Or gatavan, gatavantau, gatavantaha. So for example, Ramaha Lakshmanaha Sita cha gramam gatavantaha. We default to pullinga because the set has both pullinga and strilinga shabdas. Ramaha Lakshmanaha Sita cha, we default to pullinga in the kridanta, gatavantaha. If it is only, for example, Sita Lata Rama cha, Sita Lata Rama cha gramam gatavatyaha. We go to strilinga bahuvachana of ktavatu, gatavatyaha. Or if you don't want the kridanta version which is personified, gacchanti. Ramaha Lakshmanaha Bharataha cha gacchanti. Sita Lata Rama cha gacchanti only. Gacchanti has no linga taint. It is it's trilingaka, you can say. Is that clear, Varya? Anantaram Varya?
Yes, thank you.
विद्यार्थी पुस्तकं पठति.
That is an active voice sentence. He reads. Yes, correct. Okay. Next, look at passive voice variation of the same sentence. See, it's always useful to change it to passive and study what's happening. That's why I've chosen the same sentence. Ramaha Lakshmanena saha gramam gacchati. So I am taking a little 10 extra minutes to finish a bit of this. Okay, but we will in the next class again teach this active voice, passive voice. Okay, quickly we will go through today. We will come back and study it again. So here, what is happening? Lakshmanena saha remains in the equation. Okay, it is not having any direct implication in the Kartari Karmani. So with Lakshmana remains in the equation, but Ramena Gramaha Gamyate. What happened here? The village became the target of the Gamana Kriya. So that became Pradhana. Gramaha Gamyate. Ramena, by Rama. So how do you change the sentence in English? Rama goes to the village. In active voice, switches to village is gone to by Rama. You don't use a passive voice too much in English. Is not an elegant language for passive voice, but Samskritam is very elegant for passive voice. So Ramena gramaha gamyate. Okay, so by Rama the village is gone to. Okay, so by Rama the village is gone to. Ramaha gramam gacchati switches to Ramena gramaha gamyate in passive voice. So there is actually a whole second set of forms of this every dhatu in karmani mode. Okay, so gacchati goes to gamyate. What are the changes that took place? Okay, the ending became atmanepadi ending instead of parasmai that was default. Here it's forced to atmanepadi ending, ate. Okay, type of ending. Further, there is an yakara that comes into picture called karmani yakara that comes into picture. Okay, then sometimes the dhatu itself takes slightly different form. For example, here gach was the form taken, gam, original dhatu gam is the form here. Not always that variation occurs. See, pathati pathyate, patu remained. This gam dhatu that I picked happens to also change the dhatu form from gam to gach, there from kartaril gach to karmani gam form. Okay, gamyate, gamyate, gamyete, gamyante, gamyase, gamyethe, gamyadve, gamyethe, I'm not sure of the bahuvachana. Some gamye, gamyavahe, gamyamahe, something like that. The forms, like if you learn the vardhate table, then you learn this. Vardhate is atmanipadi table. Okay, it's like that.
Guruhu shishyena patham pathyate.
Guruhu,
Is this called-
no,
this is-
Guruhu won't be in Prathama. Shishyena pataha patyate.
This is
Good
also
attempt.
called Shabda table, right?
Varya,
Guru.
what is the question?
No, this is also called a Shabda table, no? What you said?
There are two
Rama.
types of tables. One is the noun table, which is we call declension tables. Like Rama Shabda, Grama Shabda, etc. have declension tables, which go 7/3. Okay. Then there are tables for Kriya Padas, which are called conjugation tables, that go 3/3. Okay. So, for example, gacchati, gacchataha, gacchanti, what I told, that is a 3/3 table of conjugations of gam dhatu. Okay, in lat lakara. It has further tables in other 9 lakaras and all that. Further, the same gam dhatu has karmani declensions. It could be karmani, it could be bhave. I will talk about the distinction later. Let's just for now call it karmani. So gamyate, gamyete, gamyante is a collateral of gacchati, gacchataha, gacchanti in the conjugation table for passive voice usage. So goes, is gone to, variation is between gacchati and gamyate. So this is karma pradhana. Gramaha gamyate, pataha pathyate. Like Varya told in examples, Shishyena pataha patyate, Ramena gramaha gamyate, Sitaya pustakam likhyate. Pustakam is an apumsaka shabda. So in Prathama also it is pustakam. So Sitaya pustakam likhyate, like that. Okay. Sita pustakam likhati, Sitaya pustakam likhyate. In Sitam pustakam likhati, pustakam is in Dvitiya. In Sitaya pustakam likhyate, pustakam is in Prathama. It has the same Rupa because Napumsakas Prathama and Dvitiya Vibhakti have the same Rupa. Okay? Some sound coming through, so I'll just mute everyone. And if you please unmute if you have a question. Okay, next, just to close out today's lesson quickly, I will come back and teach this slide slowly again. It's important because there is more and more examples we need to try. Just like Bhattvarya is trying some examples, others need to try. Impersonal voice. What is the difference between passive and impersonal voice? Is called that Karmani and Bhave. In Karmani, the Kriyapada sits on the Karma Shabda. It sits in the Karma Shabda. What we mean? It is varying to follow track the Karma Pada. Okay. Here it tracks the Kartrupada or Karta. Here it tracks the Karma. In Bhave, there is no Karma. The Bhave comes into force when there cannot be a Karma. What do you mean by there cannot be a Karma? For example, Ramaha Pathati. Ramaha Pustakam Patati. There is a Karma force of Pustaka as the object of reading. Ramaha Tishtati. Rama stands. What is the karma for standing? No, nothing. Ramaha Pustakam Tishtati, Gramam Tishtati, Nagaram Tishtati. No. There can be other vibhaktis like Ramaha Nagare Tishtati. He sits, he stands in the forest, in the town, something like that. Or Grihe Tishtati. But there is no karma force possible. So these dhatus of that nature, which are self-propelled with self-destiny, like sleeping, getting up, sitting, or aimless running. These kind of things are akarmakas. They don't have a karma pada associated with them. They don't have an object. So object being absent, what is then the passive voice? It is called impersonal voice. Okay, absent the object. So bhave prayoga. That means bhava means in the meaning of the kriya itself. So bhave, in the bhava. So kriyayam ityasmin arte bhave iti yoga. Bhave prayoga. Akarmaka dhatunam. For those dhatus that cannot take a karma pada, because by very nature they are not having an object. Okay. So yeah. So jump, for example. So if you throw, you can throw a ball. If you jump, you don't jump a ball. So that is simply jumps. Rama jumps. It's a akarmaka even in English. Okay. Janaha tishtanti. Janaha vardhante. Janaha atanti. I deliberately use bahuvachana here to contrast. Janaha tishtanti. So people stand, people grow, people roam. Atan. So like for example, so here you can use, of course, the Krudanta versions. You don't focus on this now. I don't want to complicate your life. How does it change to impersonal voice? Janaihi, by the people. So that goes to Tritiya Vibhakti. Same. Lakshmanena, Ramena. Sorry, ignore Lakshmanena. Ramena goes to Tritiya, right? So though he is the Karta, he is in Tritiya Vibhakti in passive voice. Same way here also the Karta goes to Tritiya Vibhakti. Janaihi. And then now stha dhatu, for tishtati the dhatu is stha dhatu. It changes to tishtati in tisht form in here, but stha is the dhatu. So the karmani version of this, or so called bhave version of this, is sthiyate. Now the question is, should it be ekavachana, should it be dvivachana, should it be bhuvachana? There is no karma pada to follow, so we default to in the kriya. So we go to ekavachana, and we go to karmapadam nasti ekavachanam kalpitam sthiyate vruddhyate atyate. So janaihi sthiyate. So ramena sthiyate, janaihi sthiyate. However many kartas may be involved, the action of being is singularized there. Action of growing is singularized there. Okay.
Sir, but it should agree with the subject too.
No, it agrees with an absent karma. It agrees with itself. So we use ekavachana.
Okay.
See, for example, janaihi janaha gachanti. Let us take simple first case. Janaha gachanti. Janaihi gamyate. But something is not mentioned, so we use gamyate. But example, suppose the people go to different cities. Janaihi nagaram nagarani, many nagarani. So janaihi nagarani gamyante, bahuvachana. because of nagarani. But absent for stha dhatu, there is no karma, so we stick to ekavachana, sthiyate. Same for vruddha dhatu. Okay, so akarmakah bhave lat evam sthiyate vruddhyate, like that. So we continue to use the karmani form but in the ekavachana sense. Okay, so if we want to go to ta etc. is also possible. Again, I will not focus that we can come to the action in the next class in detail. So because I have already overshot the time. So very high level what we have understood, there is active voice, passive voice, impersonal voice, that's called kartari karmani bhave. In kartari, the kriya pada sits to go with the karta. In karmani, the kriya pada sits to go with the karma, so it has a tracking with the karma. In bhave, it doesn't track any karma, it tracks itself, so it is located in ekavachana there. Okay, and other things are also you will see napumsaka also comes into play if it is a kridanta. For kriyapada there is no pumsakatva, so there is no napumsaka sense, but for kridantas there is, so we need to default to napumsaka also. We will see that in the next class. We will repeat this whole teaching next class. As usual, in the beginning I will revise a little bit, but I will stop with this slide and teach it again in detail. Okay, so with this I would like to conclude today's lesson. Thank you for joining. Please take some increased responsibility to participatively learn, otherwise there is no use in me teaching you guys. Okay, thank you.
Varya, I think next time each person at least 4 sentences based on this teaching.
Yeah,
They can come prepared.
yes, please. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone. And have a nice day.
धन्यवाद सर.
Dhanyawad.
Dhanyawad.
Recording